The leaks for chapter 354 are pretty interesting. In this video, we see the formation of the Blue Lock team, and it's not what I would have guessed, but I know you guys don't like being spoiled, so you will have to wait to know more. However, trust me, the ending after that is just insane. But so as not to waste any time, let's get right into it. Alright, so chapter 354 is also called In the Middle of a Dream. Before truly going into it, I want to warn you guys that I have no idea what has happened to the leaks this week. We have like 10 lines of text. So yeah, this is going to be a rough week and the leaks will be mediocre for sure. I just wanted to clarify it. Anyway, starting off, we see the text saying that the U20 World Cup group, a final match, is finally here, with the stadium roaring in absolute anticipation for the do-or-die showdown between Japan and England. With that, we see the commentators as well as the crowd going absolutely ecstatic as they all scream their hearts out. We then see a beautiful full panel with the entire pitch being filled and both the English and Japanese flags being shown. We then get back to the commentators, who say something that I still have no clue about. However, after that, we get some straight heat as we get to see the formation of Blue Lock. The text also says that the announcers reveal Japan's starting formation, featuring Shido spearheading the offense as the sole striker. So now let's go over the formation. First up, we of course have Gagamaru in the goal. Then, as the left back, we have Kiora, who is so insanely sick, but I will go more into that later on. Following him, we have Aryu as one of the center backs, who is then followed by Aiku, who is of course the other center back. I feel kind of sad for Nico, as he didn't get to play this time, as instead in the right back position, we have Ryo, which to be fair, makes up for it, as Ryo is the GOAT. We then move to the midfield, and here we see Karasu, who is in the defensive midfielder position, which is fair enough, as how can they have a formation without him? Then, at the offensive midfielders, we first have Hiyori, which I'm not mad about, but feels a tiny bit lackluster. Besides him, we have the GOAT, Isagi, which of course is a massive dub. But right here is where it truly gets interesting, as on the right wing, we have Zantetsu, which is so sick. Finally letting him play is such a blessing. Following him in the left wing position, we have Yukimiya, whom I also kind of like. I'm for sure happy to have him as a starter. Then lastly, as the text said, we have Shido as the sole striker. And honestly, that is for sure interesting, because if we are honest, then everything surrounding Shido is really interesting. Anyway, I will leave my thoughts about this for when all the leaks are over. The text says that a massive, unbelievable twist sends shockwaves through the stadium, which I'm guessing is about the formation. But with that, we get to a flashback to the locker room. Here, Ego delivers a brutal reality check, coldly ordering Isagi to drop his arrogant burden of responsibility. Ego's harsh words force Isagi to swallow the bitter despair of their defeat against France and confront his failure to successfully evolve. Then, from the text, it sounds like we head into Isagi's thoughts as he realizes that simply clashing individual egos isn't enough. The team was disjointed because they lacked a unified big goal. With that, he decides that by synchronizing everyone's selfish, chaotic drives toward a single massive objective, Blue Lock can truly become an unstoppable super dark horse. But following that, we get a super weird line, which is why I'm encouraging you guys not to trust these leaks. Anyway, it says that watching his teammates march down the tunnel to the pitch without him, Isagi burns with a dark, simmering frustration. However, I'm guessing that right here, they have to be talking about Rin since he is the one who is on the bench. Meanwhile, Isagi is, of course, starting. Yeah, I know it's all a mess, as the leaks have been super weird for some time now, but I guess that it's better than nothing. Continuing, the text says that instead of breaking, he fully embraces his identity as the rebel, meticulously plotting how he will inevitably devour the #1 spot and reclaim the center of the team. Here, it finally somewhat sounds like it's about Isagi, since they talked about him being a rebel. It's kind of fun at the end of the day to guess who it is truly about. Moving on, it says that the chapter closes on a fiercely intense spread of Isagi surrounded by his puzzle pieces, boldly declaring that God is testing his ego and warning the heavens not to underestimate him. I know that I said that I would share my thoughts at the end, but I just need to cut in and say that if he is truly talking about God, then it could be interesting. If he is talking about the god of football, of course, that Ego mentioned, it would be pretty sick if this were the game that it would make its first appearance in, but at the same time, I'm not sure if it will truly be this game or not. Now let's move on as we get to a new page with a massive defiant declaration. It says that perfectly captures the unyielding spirit of Isagi and Blue Lock, as he says that there's no way that he is going to let it end here, and that's why he is the GOAT. Moving on, we get to the side text, which hypes up the ultimate stage, declaring that the giant-killing revolutionary battle to shake the world is finally kicking off, Continuing as it says that the countdown clock at the very bottom officially hits absolute 0, marking exactly no time left until the do-or-die match against England begins. However, sadly, the chapter then concludes with an author's note that the series will be on break next week, teasing the highly anticipated chapter 355, 1 to Infinity. But yeah, I feel like we have a ton to talk about because this whole leak was a mess, to be fully transparent. Let's start off with the most exciting bit, which is the formation. Now, I actually was going to make a video on my personal favorite formation for this match if it didn't get revealed today. So yeah, that's a bummer, but what can we do? Now, I will say that I personally have a bit of mixed feelings about this formation. I'll probably put up a picture of it on the screen now so that you guys can truly see how it looks. Anyway, first off, let's talk about the freestyling King Kiora. Now trust me when I say that when he was in the starting 11, I was super happy. This guy has gotten absolutely forgotten for so long, the same with Nanase, but I don't really care for him. But Kiora, on the other hand, is so cool, and it's insane that it's only now that he gets to play. But with that said, I need to see him do some crazy freestyling things in this game, because if not, then I will be extremely sad. Ryo, who's on the other side, I'm also decently happy with, but at the same time, not. Look, I love Ryo, but where is Chigiri? If you don't know, then Chigiri is my favorite character, so I'm obviously going to be pretty biased, but having him and Zantetsu on the same line would be awesome. It would be like two bullet trains that are just going up and down on the right lane. Like seriously, how can this chance be missed? I would have liked Chigiri at any position as well. I just wish that he at least gets subbed into the game. Now let's move on to the wingers. As I said previously, Zantetsu is really cool. He is in the same boat as Kiora and the others, as they constantly get super overlooked just because they aren't in, like, the top 10 players. But finally, I'm happy to see him play in this game. Even though I would have said that having him against Loki would have been funnier, having him go against Teddy might not be that bad after all. On the other wing position, we do have Yukimiya. Now Yukimiya did have a good showcase in the Neo Egoist League, so I'm a bit surprised that it's only now that he is getting a starting position. I'm pretty sure that he has gotten subbed in before, but having him start is just so much better. And with him and Zantetsu occupying the wings, I just know that this game is going to go like super fast, and that it will truly be a speed formation for Blue Lock. Now let's talk about the last piece of the puzzle, not Isagi this time, but Shido. Now I actually don't know why Shido got the spot. Shido is pretty cool and all, and he never backs down, which is why I like him. However, I feel like Baru deserved it more. He was the one who actually scored in the last game against France. So why is Shido getting prioritized instead of Baru? I have no clue. I guess that Shido does mix into this formation of players a tiny bit better than what Baru would have. But still, Baru, he probably has the momentum from the last game and could have carried it into this game. Not to mention that I think that he and Isagi are just a better link-up than Isagi and Shido, which is also stated by Karasu in the last game, as he said that he is the only one who can use Shido, and that he's the one player that Isagi can't. I'm not sure if that whole thing will be broken in this game or not, but if that happens, then I could see it being pretty dope. Overall, this formation is decent. I like how they gave chances to players that we haven't seen so much, but leaving out Chigiri as well as Corona is instantly a crime in my books, so that gives them minus points. But at the end of the day, it's decent. I'm more interested in seeing England's formation now and seeing all of the new players. After that, there's not that much more that I can add on, as the leaks didn't give us a whole lot, and the panels are being gatekept, so yeah, I can't do much more sadly. While that sucks, it does get me more fired up for tomorrow's official chapter, as we will get so many things explained. Also, don't forget that there is a break next week, but luckily it's only 1 week, and then we are back with more peak. Please, if you can, let me know how you felt about the formation down below. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like. Also, if you can, hype the video down below, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.